One of the great essays that really summarizes the Big Pharma conspiracy theory is by Robert Blaskowitz from the University of Wisconsin-Eau Claire. He said in his essay, and I'll read a short excerpt here, "In these stories, Big Pharma is shorthand for an abstract entity comprised of corporations, regulators, NGOs, non-governmental organizations, politicians, and often physicians, all with a finger in the trillion-dollar prescription pharmaceutical pie. Aligning all of these separate entities into a monolithic agent of evil allows the conspiracy theorists to mistakenly ignore the complex and conflicting interests that they represent." I really urge you, if you know anyone or if you yourself believe in this conspiracy theory, to read this paper that's available right here at this link. And it goes to show that all the questions and the misrepresentation that the conspiracy theorists have to go through in order to answer very simple questions. And let's take this excerpt and talk about it in detail more. There are so many different countries, different agencies, different institutions and organizations that work on different aspects of diseases, approaches, and medicine. Robert pointed out that 4 reasons why this whole Big Pharma is nonsense is because 1. These conspiracy theories have the same basic plot. A relatively small number of people working in top secret against the public good. It assumes that most people don't know the truth, and only these small subset of people with a secret or suppressed knowledge, the conspiracy theorists, know the truth. And the question is, how do these conspiracy theorists know the truth in the first place? The lack of evidence is evidence for the theory. They might say that we're unable to see it because it's top secret, of course, and that's evidence for our theory that there is a Big Pharma. And that is simply not logical. And the evidence is based on common mental shortcuts, misperceptions, and non-rational cues, which makes the conspiracy theories all the more memorable, compelling, and contagious. And remember, from all the previous lectures in this course, we talked about the clinical trial testing and the research funding, the type of organizations, etc. It's not one big agent. There are so many different countries, agencies, different institutions, and organizations that work on all these different things. There is absolutely no way to all come together for one huge goal, which is to be evil, I guess. Heck, how hard is it to work with some of your colleagues at your company? Just simply think about it. And so how are you able to do this at such a huge scale? And what the essay said here is very true. It's really easy to believe that people are out there to get us. All they want is money and want us to get sick so that they get more money. But if you have worked in this industry or even studied like you're doing for this course, you will easily see that how impossible this whole idea is. There's a common story in comments that I have heard is people who have studied 4 years of undergrad studies, 5-6 years of PhD studies, 10 years of work experience in the industry, just for someone who have no background to say, hey, you are wrong, I know more than you. That simply is not logical, right? And another source I want to point to you to is on the viability of conspiratorial belief by David Robert Grime. And in this paper, he used mathematical models, a paper that shows how conspiracy theories are non-viable in general. And specifically, in order to conceal a cure for cancer hidden by the Big Pharma, for example, it would take approximately 3.2 years for it to get exposed due to the number of people it's required to keep it a secret. And the same goes for other conspiracy theories, whether it is the moon landing or Earth is flat. It would take approximately 3.2 years for it to get exposed for any of the secrets that they're trying to keep. Whether it is the evidence, the photos, the documents that organize them together or anything, it would take about 3.2 years to be exposed and released to the public. And that's why you have a lot of recordings or documents or pictures or traceabilities of any of the scandals of politicians come into light. They come into light because it's so hard to keep it a secret. And also, if you know about Edward Snowden, that also comes into light because at the end of the day, some people, even those in the organization, will not want to keep it a secret any longer. And that's when those things truly comes to light. And I urge you to read this because it shows a logical, empirical, stepwise fashion to come to the conclusion that conspiracy theories are simply not true. According to a survey in the year 2005, 27% of American public believe that the Big Pharma has a cure for cancer and is suppressing it so that they can maintain a profit. The argument is that pharmaceutical companies are slowing down research for a comprehensive cure for cancer by developing high-profit, single-purpose treatments rather than focusing on a supposed cure-all for all cancers. However, The idea that holding back a cure will result in more profit than presenting one is not considered a very strong argument. And the argument against this idea is that, first, they would make more profit by selling drugs to those ones that need it, just like Advil, Tylenol, for example. It doesn't make sense that they say, hey, you have a headache. We'll let you keep having headache by not selling you the drug, because we will get more profit from it. That does not make sense. Second one is cancer is not a single disease. There are so many different cancers, so many different mutations that affects different organs, different stages, and it's so complex it is very hard to treat. Third is the unethical and moral issues, and even legal ones, to withhold any kind of these treatments. But I'm not saying that everything the pharmaceutical company do is innocent and angelic. As with anything good, there are also bad things too. And that's why in the next section, we will talk about some of the good things and the bad things that the pharmaceutical companies do. Pharmaceutical companies have done bad too, but they also have done good. And that's the whole point of this course, to give you information about the good and the bad, to inform you of the drug discovery and drug development process before and after, so that you can see from an unbiased point of view all the things involved in the industry.